Hello everyone, welcome back to channel Y.O.B. It is your host, Y.O.B. Today I'm doing a review for Predator Badlands, directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Quick overview for the film is cast out of his clan, an alien hunter and an unlikely ally embark on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary. The cast is Ellie Fanning as Thea, Demetrius Calamanti Tenenji as Deck, I believe. Mike Homey as Quay. It's a very small cast, but because most of it is aliens, and the lead really is Ellie Fanning. She plays Thea, and I think she. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. But so yeah, I just got out of theater. I was gonna do out of the theater review, like a quick short, but it's so cold outside right now. I'm just like I decided just to wait till I got home. But literally, I just got out of this movie like 20 minutes ago. Um, how I felt when I first before I got into this movie was I wasn't really that excited for this, but a lot of good word of mouth has piqued my interest. I'm a huge fan of Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Um, I even like the was it Predators? It was the one with the guy. It's the one actor. I forget his name. He was just in the Brutalist. But I love the lore of the Predators, and I really think they're a cool uh, concept or creature concept. I really, I mean, my immediate thoughts of this film is I enjoyed it. I'm not in love with it. It is a Disney film, so you could tell that they're trying to make it more family oriented. Um, they have like this cute little, monkey character. It's like something out of like a Pixar movie. Ah, my ear. And every time I see that, it's like it's cute, it's adorable. I like the little creature, but it's just kind of like it's not really fitting for like a Predator movie. Um, Ellie Ellie Fanning, yeah, as Thea. I she grew on me around the end. Honestly, I really did not like her character in the beginning when you first see her, just sort of her nonstop. Because I was really enjoying the movie. Like when a movie begins and there's no talking, no human, no synthetics. It's just the Yaoja, and they're speaking in their language and stuff. Like the movie really locked me in. Even what happens. I'm not spoiling it, but even what happens in the beginning, it's so engaging, and I was really enjoying it until we got to Ellie. She just pulled me out because it's just nonstop talking, and just the jokes. It's just like I don't know. It's just kind of like we didn't really need that. I was completely immersed in the movie, and I think that it felt like studios were coming, like the studio head. See, that's the thing that holds this movie back is really the studio, is Disney. It's really there. It feels like it's really there. Like we gotta do this. We got to have a cute character. We need to have a human character to make it relatable for the audience. It's like she. It's just I just don't think that we really needed like this, like a human storyline. This and she's not Ellie. I mean, Thea, the character that Ellie is playing, she's not human. She's a synthetic, but it's still like clearly they use the synthetics in this movie to kind of connect to the audience. You know, and I don't know. I mean, she grew on me later throughout the movie, like around the end. Like I started like her more and more, but at first I was really just kind of annoyed because it was not her jokes weren't funny. It was kind of just talking and talking and just joking and joking. I didn't really like it, but and then other things I don't really like is some of the CGI is kind of a little cartoony looking, and I mean, and it's like it's mixed with practical effects. But I don't know. It's like, and a lot of this stuff kind of felt like a video game sometimes. Like it just felt a little too, see, like cartoony. And I don't know. I'm a huge fan of the Predator, the first one, and is that movie's pure practical, and it's just like I don't know. I just appreciate more creativity and more like practicality in my sci-fi films. I understand there's some things you can't do, and I think this movie, and I think sometimes I think that it's easier and less time consuming to do use CGI, and I think that's probably why they just were like, yeah, let's just do this, with CGI, Um, but I mean, I'm not disappointed. I do like this movie. I think it was good. Um, I think it has a good story. Um, I like the Yaoja in it. I think I'm glad they brought back the original facial designs. Cause in Prey, um, they gave the Yaoja a totally different face design, and I did not like that face design. I thought it was so stupid looking. I was like, no, why'd you do that? You didn't need to change the Yaoja's like facial design into whatever they did. It was just I did not like it. I thought it was so ugly. But yeah, they bring back the original, which I do like. And I think they do good CGI, with the Yaoja's face, like how it emotes, you know, and it's really I like it. And I mean, maybe you don't have to take out the synthetic storyline, but I think that there could have been a little bit more refinement of the story, and it didn't need to really kind of take up so much of Deck's story, because that's what kind of gets like, and I mean, there's a lot of like coincidental things, like this little monkey creature, it turns out later on to be a bigger important piece of the puzzle kind of thing. That's just kind of like I don't know. I don't like stuff like that. And I like the creature, and the thing is that I kind of if you're I feel like there's a part of me that's like a fan of Star Wars, and this is like really like Star Wars. It really feels like this is what Star Wars should feel like, and I think that I like this from my Star Wars fan side, whereas like I like the fictional, I like the action, I like the the world building, and that's really kind of like my Star Wars side. But then my fan of the original Predator side is kind of like I don't really like all this kitty stuff in my Predator movie. I don't like you know like the jokiness of it. I don't like it just feels very like Disneyfied, and it's kind of like yeah, okay. But at the same time, it's a mix, because then there's a part of me that's like, I mean, the way it's done here is like it's not so censored, and we still get some like goriness. Like it's not violence like with humans involved where you're seeing blood, but it's using like alien blood, and it's a way for them to get away with the PG-13 rating. It's so that and I think it kind of you kind of could feed both sides of the party. With the people who want the goriness, the violence. You get some of that here, and it's not gratuitous, but you do get some like good violence here. It's like it does feel pretty violent, for a PG-13 movie, honestly. But they get away with it because it's not actual violence to humans. So it's like, I mean, I think that's why it really walks a tightrope. And with me, it's like I like it. I'd really like it. I mean, would I be down to see this again? Um, it's very simplistic of a story that is not nothing really there to chew on for me. Like to go back into it, which is very underwhelming, and that's the one thing that's kind of feeling like it's a little empty. It's very straightforward, but I don't think any Predator movies really has anything to chew on. I mean, the first one, in my opinion, is my favorite because it's a horror film and it sticks with you just on like how and it's like the first time I ever saw that alien Yaoja, species in a movie, and it was really like an experience to see that as a kid because the movie starts off as like a Rambo like movie, a regular action movie, you know and then it slowly descends into a like horror slasher alien movie, and I think it was just an experience that is very it's very like profound for me in my experience watching movies. And it's the same thing as like watching The Dark Knight. That's how I felt about when I first watched the Predator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Where in this, it feels like, you know, it's kind of just elaborating on the lore, which I like. It's giving us more like of the world of the Yaoja, and which I like. Um, but it comes with its own. This movie comes with baggage, which is at times lazy looking CGI that just looks like a cartoon, you know, and then bad Gen Z jokes that are just like infecting the entire film industry, like where it's just everybody has to be funny and silly, and it's just like, dude. And I think it's really a Disney thing. It's like they have to do this. Like we have to make it be funny. We can't make a dark movie. I mean, they kind of held back on the jokes in Alien Romulus. And that's one reason I don't understand why they didn't want to make Predator like more rated R. And I mean, that's why I'm worried that and it's like what's their name? They, the synthetic. I don't know. I'm getting kind of tired of these kind of characters being in alien movies over and over again. There's no like. It's just like I don't know. It's like the Alien TV series. We have a synthetic that's like It's just they kind of look the same. They don't have any. There's no different synthetics. The lead actress in the Alien TV series kind of looks like a small like girl, and then in this one they got a small little girl, and it's like, why are they making the same type of synthetics? Like, why can they all look like different? And it's just like, and it's I don't know, and then they all it's just I don't know. I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, it's woke or because it's like, I don't mind it, but it's just like, I don't know if this is their way of trying to harken back to Ripley, Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, but Sigourney Weaver as Ripley actually was an interesting personality. Like Ripley um, was interesting. Like I actually like Ripley as a character, where these female like strong female characters are just not interesting really to me. Like she grows on me. I mean, I kind of liked her after a while. She was not as annoying after a while, but it still is like I could have done without. You know, Alien Romulus. The same thing. Is just like I don't know, man. It's just like it feels like it's just like, and it's really a Disney thing. It's really a Disney thing. I don't know if it's like everyone calls their movies woke, so you have some executives that feel like we'll show them we're gonna keep doing it. And it's just like, well, what are you trying to prove? If you're gonna make these characters, just make them likable at least. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't like being negative and and bashing, but it's just like I don't know. That's just the thing, a pet peeve of mine with like modern writing in movies, and it's just becoming a commonality. But yeah, I mean, this movie just comes with kind of like its baggage that I really don't like. It's like there's great things in it. There's some cool stuff in here, and like the first part of the movie, like the beginning of the movie, I really was into it. I really liked it. But after the middle part, it kind of like, and you meet Faye, and like that's when she kind of pulls me out of the movie, and then and then the things I was kind of lenient on, like the CGI at times, was kind of becoming more noticeable for me. And then it's just like then we were trying to like make Faye's character more relevant and important in the story. When really we could have just been focusing on Deck, the Yaoja. Like I would have just been happy with a whole movie with just nobody saying anything and just following him. And the movie didn't have to be a long movie. It could have been like an hour, around an hour and 30 minutes, hour and 40 minutes. Just to make it quick. And just and it's like and you could have had other Yaoja there if you need some kind of social, like some sort of dialogue between characters, because you feel like, okay, this would be a boring movie if there's just a predator Yaoja just wandering the jungle looking for I think it's a Malik, whatever, one of the main the thing he was hunting. It's like you could have other predators there, hunting the same thing, and have it be a competition. I don't know. There's just other ways I would have preferred the story to go. I just okay. Let me just break it down and to easy, you know, the good and the bad. Um, the bad for me in this movie is I think Thea is just kind of a obnoxious character for the first portion of her screen time. Later down the road, she gets a little bit more likable. Still, I don't know. I could do without her. Um, the CGI is weak at times. Um, uh, I think the pacing could be a little sluggish at times, which kind of makes me a little tired, because the pacing it doesn't really feel like it's going in any a certain direction that makes sense. You know, yeah, that's all for the bad. For the good, I think that this movie has um, a good world building for the Yaoja. Um, I think it has good cinematography at times, like with the landscape shots. I do think there, and even some of the action is kind of breathtaking, especially if you see it in 3D. Um, I wonder how this movie would have been seeing it in 40x. I might go see this in 40x. Actually, I might see this again and see it in 40x. I think that'd be just a fun movie to see in 40x. Um, I think the music's pretty good. I think that it has good practical effects at times. Um, and I think I already said this. I think just yeah, I think this world building and the story is very interesting. But not the story overall. I think this is the story with Deck is interesting. Not Faye. You know, that side quest storyline. And I'm not really liking that. I mean, I kind of like elements of it, like without spoilers. There's elements of her story that is interesting, but I'm just overall, I feel like I could have done without. But that's about it really. This movie, it's kind of it's one of those movies that is good, but there's a lot of things in it that kind of frustrate me. Um, but it's like it's still I feel like for most people I feel like they will enjoy this, and for me I think it's good. I don't I think that this is a good movie. Um, if I have to rate this out of five, I will rate this. Hmm. I'll rate this a 3 out of 5. Um, yeah, I take 2 points off because it's just I don't I feel like there's a lot of just frustrating things that's holding this movie back, and but I overall I do think it's a lot more good than bad. I do think this is a worthy movie of checking out. And I think some people might look past the little grievances, but I just very sensitive to certain elements and things that are implemented in film that's hard for me to just kind of ignore. You know, and I mean, I just think that they had my attention already when the movie starts with the Yaoja, and I think that's really what I want. I think I just really want a movie that's just about the Yaoja, and it's like I don't think it's just like every time we have like. I mean, it's like we never just. It's like they show that they could do it. Like in the beginning of the movie, that's the thing that's kind of like frustrating with me. It's like the way the movie begins. It's like so engaging, and I was so invested. But that's as soon as we get to the phase, I keep forgetting those things names. Synthetic. When we get to the synthetic, it just turns into kind of like okay, now it's a buddy journey. Movie. It's just I don't really need that. It just kind of pulls me out. And it feels like I'm watching another. It feels like it starts off like a Predator movie, and then it just turns into like Lilo and Stitch out of nowhere. And it's like yeah, you still have violence and some action, but it's just that vibe. It kind of sticks with me throughout the whole movie, and it's just kind of like I don't really like this like kiddie, family friendly movie feeling that's now kind of like injected itself into this movie. You know, but yeah, 3 out of 5. I recommend you guys check it out, but it's not like I'm really that impressed by it. I like it, you know, but it's just I kind of want something a little better for Predator, and I hope that maybe and he's getting better. I do like this more than Prey. I do think this movie is better than Prey. This is the same director. Dan directed Prey, and then he directed this movie. So I mean, I think he's getting better. I'm glad he brought back the original facial designs. I think the action. I think he's great at directing action scenes. Um, I mean, this was fun. I think that this was fun. I really wish I knew what was going on behind the scenes to know who really is making the choices, but we'll never know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like this, if you didn't like it, what you think of the movie. I really like to know what you guys feel about this movie. Um, that's pretty much my review. Uh, if you can, please like, subscribe, and yeah. As always, may the force be with you. Peace and out.